What's up, Kabroda crew? Welcome back to our live stream. Hopefully, y'all are doing well today. Had a nice little breakdown yesterday into today, so nice little move there. Hopefully, y'all got into that if you were watching. Not really much setups for our system specifically, but if you were trading maybe a different one, or honestly, if you're a little more aggressive in our system, you definitely would have gotten into at least one trade. So yeah, hopefully y'all jumped into that. Even if you didn't, glad y'all didn't lose money on that trade. Hopefully, so yeah, overall, not a bad day yesterday. Hopefully we'll have even better one today. See how our chart kind of sets up as we go through setting up our battle box for today. Yeah, so might as well jump right into that. Real quick before we start, make sure you like and subscribe. That way we can get our videos out to more people. That way, yeah, people can just see our content and, um, yeah, just be able to follow us and see what we're doing and everything. Um, but yeah, other than that, we will jump into it here. So I'm going to switch on over to my GPT here. And we're going to start up our daily market recap. All right. So real quick, one thing that you can do right now, as far as till we update our GPT, is you can go ahead and change the GPT you're on to match the one that we're using. I believe we're using 5. Um, so yeah, you can go ahead and change that. It's just right here in the model. You can just go ahead and change it to whichever one. We're on 5.1 right now. That's the recommended model. Most likely, it will come up and tell you that the recommended model is the one to use. It tells you like which one to use. So it did. Okay. I think my thing just cut out there, but um, hopefully it didn't cut out for too long. Uh, anyways, yeah. So basically, make sure your model's correct, so that way, whenever you're running through the system, it works well. Really, it should work pretty good anyways. It's just you might have to work with a little more to get the things that you want out of it. So, for example, like yesterday, I was trying to get it to pull up this screen here, and it actually just created a whole DMR for me without that. I believe it happened the last 2 days. So, um, that's why I was just on the newer version of the GPT, and so the newer one was trying. We just haven't updated it for that newer one yet, so it was trying to basically uh, run what I wanted it to run without like really looking through the things that we basically designed it to do. So yeah, it was basically throwing up a DMR, but it was for like back when we were at 60 something K, so it was way off. But yeah, just make sure you're on the right GPT. It'll just make it a little easier, a little simpler. We're going to start off today with our news event. So if you guys open up Google here and open up cryptocraft.com, that'll show a screen just like this. Then you're going to go over this calendar over here and click on today's date. And these are going to be our news events for today. Looks like we're all yellow today. Yellow's the low impact, and then orange is the medium, and then red would be the higher impact. So that's the ones that you kind of want to watch out for. Yellow's not really anything we have to worry about. Orange, I'd be a little more concerned about, honestly. So we're going to go ahead and take a screenshot of it anyways. So I like to just screenshot this little graph here. Nothing really more than that, just that little graph. Um, and then we'll head back to our GPT here. And in our GPT, we can just go ahead and paste it right into our thing, and that'll start us off. So that'll be the first thing we get. Next, we're going to go through the 4, 1 hour, 15, and 5 minute and get different screenshots for those. This will just give the GPT more information kind of on where the chart's at and what's happening. Yeah, we'll head back to TradingView here. Start off with our 4 hour. I'm going to zoom out a little bit, and then we're just going to double click here. And that'll auto set up the chart to look nice. So we have some information here, a little bit of history, but our chart looks nice and clean, so the battle box can read it real easily. I also turn off all my lines. Leave my moving averages on, but I turn off all of my random lines that I have on there, like my FRVP lines and such. Mostly because I just don't want it to get confused. So I'll go ahead and clean my chart up and just have it nice, clean chart, clean indicators, and I'll screenshot it here. And then we'll just move down the list, screenshotting, and then we'll head on to our GPT here and just paste it in. 1 hour next, same thing, screenshot it. If you don't know how to screenshot, you can press Windows key, Shift, and S all at the same time, and that'll give you the snipping tool, so it'll give you the ability to screenshot it here nice and easily. Well, I believe I just took a picture of the 1 hour twice. Yeah, I did. Okay, so we're gonna have to go 15 minutes this time. Talking, not paying attention, I guess. So that's our 15, and then 5 minutes, the last one we're gonna grab. If you do have a quad view, you can do this actually a lot easier than the way I'm doing it now. You can just put all your charts into a quad view, the 15 or 4 hour, 1 hour, 15, and 5. Just put them all into one quad view, and then auto like all the indicators, all the things, and then just go ahead and take a screenshot of all 4 charts. Makes it really easy actually, and you could do it the same if you had like 2 dual views, like have the 4 hour and the 1 hour one, and then 5 and 5 or 15 and 5 minute on another, and that would give you the same kind of result. We're trying to just show it in the easiest way possible to do it with if you don't have like the more advanced version of TradingView. So that's why we're doing it this way, but you're welcome to just easily throw them all together, take one screenshot. It'll work the same way, more or less at least. Next up, we're going to grab the different FRBP levels. So we're going to head back to our chart here. And then I'm going to open up the 1 hour just because I think it's the easiest chart to do it on. Technically, you could do this on any time frame. It's just a little easier to find the candles you're looking for on this time frame because the candles we're looking for are all going to be like hourly candles technically. So like I said, you could do it pretty much anywhere. You're just going to have to find the 1 candles that you need. So we're going to, what we need is we're going to need 1 tool for this, the FRVP tool, which is our fixed range volume profile tool. So we're going to go to the crosshairs here, go down 1, 2, 3, 4, click over, and then go down to volume base and fixed range volume profile. And this is the tool that we'll use for this. And then now we just need 2 different times to put our marks at. So when you click on the chart, it'll put a mark like that. And what we want is to put our marks on the right spots. So we're going to go 12 UTC to 12 UTC. And for me, that'll be 6 to 6. Since I'm at -6 UTC, you can go ahead and figure that out for your, oops, I just ruined that. You can figure that out for your time zone, but you could also change it if you go down to your UTC thing down here, your little time zone, and click it. And then you can go up and you could just change it to UTC if you want. I believe that's the auto default. But at the very top of the list, it's just UTC, so you can change it to that, and then it would just be 12 to 12, or you can put it in your time and then figure it out based on what UTC you're at. So we're at -6 here, so I'm going to go ahead and go to Wednesday. at 6, and that'll be my first dot there. And then I'm going to go to today at 6, and that'll be my second dot. And these are going to be my 24-hour volume, or my 24-hour FRVP levels. So I already have them on here. You can go ahead and hit Alt J if you're looking to make a line similar to mine. That'll be a horizontal ray. They're also over here in the drawings here, and you can go ahead and pick whatever line you would like. But yeah, basically you'll throw your line on here, and then you can open it up, change the different style and text on it and such, and then that'll be, we'll basically use these every single day. So I like to have my rays there so I can see if I go back in the chart, I just see it where it starts, and then the rest of the chart isn't affected by it. But that's also personal preference there, so it's kind of up to you what you'd like. But once you get 3 lines on there, you're going to want to label them volume area high, POC, and volume area low. And it's best to use a 24-hour volume area high, POC, volume area low, because these are the 24-hour ones that we're going to be using. You could also just color code them. Me, I have both. I have color coded and I have them labeled 24-hour ones. So, because we will be doing another set of these for the morning. So we'll go ahead, and our volume area high is going to go hover over the red line on that FRVP tool we just used. And then the yellow line is going to be your point of control, or POC. And then the blue one will be your volume area low, or VAL. And we'll just go ahead, and I like to line them up just a little bit outside of my 6 o'clock candle, and then just line them up pretty close to where they're supposed to be. You probably won't get exact. As long as they're close, though, the support and resistance are always a range, and that's what we're drawing here, support and resistance. If you don't know what that is, it's just an area that the chart is likely to see some kind of at least slow down or possible like turn there. So if it's below price action is like wherever we're at right now. If it's below price action, it's going to be support, and if it's above, it'll be resistance. So anyways, they're always zones though, so even if you're not 100% exact, you can go ahead, just mark it on there. It'll be close enough. After we get our 24-hour ones, though, we're going to go ahead and close those off, and then I'm going to move this FRVP zone up to that morning level. So the morning level is just going to change from 6 o'clock before, or 12 o'clock, I guess, UTC before, and now we're going to go to, what is it? It's 2 o'clock for me. That would be 8 o'clock, I believe, UTC. I don't know. Yeah, so 2 o'clock this morning for me is what I'll throw the levels at. And these are going to be my morning ones, so I'll open those up. And same thing, just drag them. You can just put the same style of lines that you put on there before. I like to have mine are pink, and the other ones are purple. Just because I think it stands out on the chart, makes it easy to see. Because I got all sorts of other colors around my chart. So pink and purple are nice and easy. They stand out. They stand out over here on the sidebar with where the price is. Yeah, just mostly that's why I have them pink and purple. But yeah, you'll throw them on there, get them nice and lined up. Again, zone, support and resistance are zones, so you don't have to be 100% exact, but close enough is good. And we're going to go ahead, throw those on there. You can go ahead and delete your FRVP tool that we had on there. And then now we're going to actually have to throw these into our GPT. So what I like to do is start with just the 24 hours open. You can actually open all of them, but just for viewing purposes, it's a lot easier to see the different levels here. If you do open up your object tree, actually, the easiest way that I like to do it is just you can double click here on the object tree and it'll open up the settings of the line. You can also click and go to the settings. But if you do it this way, you can actually have them all on, and then you just double click the lines that you actually want. So that's where it's helpful to name them in the settings, So if you go into the settings, there's a name up here at the top. If you name them here, it'll name them on the object tree. Um, it's very helpful to do that because then you can see them over here just in a nice little format. You can even put them in a folder like I have where I can turn them on and off whenever I want. And then also, yeah, their names, so I can just figure out which one I'm clicking on throughout. If you want to see a little more in depth on how to set up your object tree, like you don't know how to, we do have a video on our channel that covers that, so check that out. If you are interested in maybe just learning a little bit more about the object tree or just figuring it out in general. I'm going to go ahead and turn these off though, just so they're easier to see what we're doing. And before I actually grab the levels, I'm going to go back here to my GPT and type FRVP. Oh, I think I just added another random screenshot. FRVP levels. Wow, I don't know what I just typed. FRVP levels, 24-hour, volume area high, POC, and volume area low. And then morning, same thing, volume area high, POC, and volume area low. And then we can also add this real fast 30-minute candle, high and low. And we'll put those in a second. These 30-minute candle, we'll grab that in a second. But basically, just setting it up like this just makes it easier for you to see. Really, the AI could do it any which way. So if you would rather just say like 24-hour and kind of label them and just copy and paste them all in one line, that's fine. AI should be able to figure that out. Just for me, I'd rather be able to see it, especially if I have some sort of problem or issue with it. I can just go back and be like, oh yeah, my volume area high and my POC are the same number, so I must have accidentally pasted the same number twice or something. I don't know, just something like that. Something simple, easy to do, but it's just easy to find your mistake, I guess. So I like to have them set up like this, just makes them easy. But anyways, we'll just go grab our levels and paste them in right here, right under the corresponding areas. So that's why I said we'll close out our morning ones right now, or hide them, and then we'll go ahead and throw our 24-hour ones in there first. So we got all of those on the chart already, and we can just go ahead and double click here and grab the coordinates. You want to make sure you click on the coordinates tab, and then it should be highlighted already. You can just press Control C to copy, or right click and then copy. And we'll just paste it in there, and then we can just go down the list doing the same thing. So 20, the POC now, paste it in there, and then we'll go to our volume area low. Sweet, so we got all of our 24-hour levels, and then now we can do the morning ones. So it's the same process here. I'm gonna go ahead and close out or hide out my 24-hour ones and unhide my morning ones, and then we'll do the same thing. Just double click, copy, and go back to our GPT here and just paste it in there. Oops. Same thing for all of them. Just go through, copy, paste, copy, paste. Pretty easy to do, easy to set up, not anything super complicated. And then the last thing we're going to grab is that 30-minute candle. So this is actually pretty simple to grab as well. I'm actually going to hide all of these here. And then you're going to want to go, so in your object tree here, I already have it open on the object tree, but if you don't have the object tree, it's down over to your right side tools. Like you have the watch list little thing, you have the alarm clock, the alerts, and then below that there's like these two boxes stacked on top of each other, two squares stacked on top of each other. You're just going to click on that, and that will open up your object tree here. And then at the top where it says object tree, there's also another little setting called data window, and that's where we're going to find our high and our low. You can also look at the top of your screen. There's H and an L up under where it says Kabroda on my screen. There's an H and L. Those are the high and low as well. So you could use either of them. I just prefer the data window. It's just easier to see and read, I think, especially if for the stream purposes at least. We're going to head to that 30-minute, and then we're going to grab that 7:30 candle. So hover over the 7:30 candle, and then you can see over on the right side over there where it has the different levels. So we have 102, 624 is our high. So 102, 624. And then for our high or our low here, it's 102, 100. 102, 100. Nice and simple. So we got all of our levels on there. We got our 30-minute candle ranges, high and low there, and that's really it. If you do want to grab, there is another FRBP level. That's the weekly FRBP level. You can ask the BattleBox how to do that if you are interested in doing that. It's an optional thing, but it does help give you a little bit more edge, I guess. Give the BattleBox a little bit more info to kind of just figure out where it's going for the day. But you can go ahead and ask about that if you're interested in doing that. But we're just going to send in our levels here for now. And yeah, if you guys are confused about any of this, go ahead and ask me. You can ask me any questions about TA and stuff too. I'll try to answer it as best as I can. But we're here to try to teach y'all how to trade, or at least how to do TA better. Because yeah, we want everybody to be able to trade, and yeah, if that's your passion to become a trader, we want to just make a free option to be able to pursue that, basically. Because a lot of people actually charge a pretty good amount of money to learn this kind of stuff. So we're here trying to make it free, basically no cost to jump into, and give you as much as we can for free. Yeah, I mean, you could pretty much learn almost everything here if you're really dedicated, really trying to learn. We can teach you almost everything you want to know. But yeah, we got our DMAR here. So, and this is also what we made this tool just so you could learn even more. So the DMR and everything's designed to teach you. You could even ask for a teachable DMR, teachable battle plan, which we'll make here in a second, the battle plan. But both of those will just be a little more in depth, a little more just showing you like why it's talking about this, why it's talking about that, what this even means, that kind of thing. And the battle box is set up in a way you can ask it pretty much anything you want about why it did certain things, and it should be able to answer it for you. So, and like I said, we're here too. So if you don't get an answer from the battle box, you can go ahead and ask us, and we'll answer it to the best of our abilities. But yeah, we're going to start here with these different time frames. If you've never seen one of these before, there's some levels here. Below that, and then below that you got a trade strategy outlook, so just some different trade strategies. This will really cover in the battle box battle plan here that we'll make in a second. All the news events it takes and puts right here in this little section. So if you see if you're looking for them again, you can find them really flash right here. Make sure you do check the impact though before you put the screenshot in, because sometimes for some reason it decides one of them has a higher impact than it really needs to. So just make sure you're kind of fact checking it, I guess. Below that, just some things to watch out for is you take some possible trades today, and then below that we got our weekly zone levels. These will be more accurate if you actually put them in. And then below that are YAML levels. So these are just some levels that you can go and copy and paste into your chart if you want to have different lines on there. We have a video covering this on how to use the YAML thing. Just check out our BattleBox videos. It'll be a full in-depth video on how to use this whole AI if you're interested. We have like 4 videos on just this AI here. But yeah, we're gonna go through the time frames here. So we're gonna start off with our 4-hour. And how it works, I'll just read off our battle blocks here, and then we'll kind of go through some of the TA. Alright, so the battle box says that BTC continues to respect a downward sloping 200 MA around 106K, which is not that close. The 200's about 108, 500, but close enough. With the 21 SMA below it, momentum indicators, MACD and RSI remain subdued. 4-hour Stoches shows an early curl up from oversold, hinting at potential short-term base, but still under both key MAs. Macro bias is bearish. Alright, so we are below the 200 and the 21, just like the battle box was saying. You could see, what was it saying? Stoches are showing that we have a possible curl up. Stoches are not something I would be super worried about on a time frame longer like this, because the longer time frames like this, the stoches just aren't as accurate. So a lot of times you'll see them fire before or fire late. It's really just kind of all over, or they're like right now they're kind of just like right with price action. So it's like, well, that doesn't really help me kind of figure out like where the market's going. That just tells me what's happening right now. So which is, I guess, really what the indicators do anyways. But I don't know, there's not that accurate, so it's just better to skip that one and not look at the stochas really as we go about the long time frames here. Regardless, so we're all below those, so that's a bearish sign there. You got the MACD actually looking for a curl over, but you're seeing this blue line kind of start to fade downwards, so possible more downside. We retested that 21 right here and actually rejected off of it, so it is looking more like possible downside there. And RSI here did get a curl here, and we're still continuing that downward trend. It looked like we might have gotten a flip here, but the yellow is still continuing that downwards slope, so we're looking for more of a breakdown here as far as it looks like. Will it be like a giant breakdown? I don't know. We'll have to kind of see. It could just be another small breakdown, retest some of these this lower level here. Kind of haven't broken that level there. Could be making some sort of triangle here, something like that. I don't know. We will see. But we did reject off that 21, so looking for some more downside risk here. I'm going to go ahead and throw my FRVP levels on again. Yeah, nothing really else, so more of a bearish bias right now on the 4-hour. So we're going to head to that 1 now. So here, let me zoom out a little bit, and then I'll read the battle box. Get it where you can see it all. All right, price is consolidating just below the 102.9K. We actually got a decent dump right here after that, but just below, that's pretty close to below, especially for Bitcoin. We're rejecting the 200 MA near 103.1. 21 SMA is beneath the 200 MA, and structure shows lower highs forming since November 11th. RSI is mid-range, 45 to 50, and MACD is slightly negative. The hourly trend is bearish to neutral. Alright, so we did reject off of this 200 right here. We tried to break through it, ended up not being able to, broke back down. We've retested it a couple times, and now we're seeming to get this actual breakdown here below that. That was within yesterday. It's funny it says lower highs from the 11th. Okay, yeah, I guess so. We had a higher high here, and then a lower high, and then now another lower high. And what that means is just this high here of price action came up, and they call that a high, and then they call it a low whenever you come down and get a turn. So came up, made a high, came down, low, and then a lower high, which means it's below the previous high. So lower high, and then a lower low, so below the previous low, and then a lower high again. So basically what that means is we're in a downtrend, put simply. You can see some sort of downtrend there. It said since the 11th, but we've actually been in it since the 10th. So you can see we made a higher high here, and then we come down lower. I guess this would be a lower low, higher or lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, continue down. Typically you see that until you break this trend line here. So we'll continue down basically until we break that. And that's basic TA, I guess. But we are breaking down here. We're below the 200, and now actually we're below that 21. So on the bearish side of is what we normally say whenever you get below the 200, both MAs, both the major MAs that we use, which are the 200 and the 21. We would say, hey, that chart is bearish. If it's above both of them, it's bullish. Just another basic TA type thing. But yeah, we are below them. Indicator wise, we got a cross coming soon on the MACD. We're losing all that bull momentum that we had coming up into this up run here, and now we're losing it. So we're looking for a cross here, looking to flip red, and that will be another indicator that we're looking for some downside here. And same with RSI, we're looking for that curl over here. Right now we're just getting it flattened off, so as of right now we are still more neutral bearish kind of. We could flip either way, just like this candle right here might not close below the 21, we might close above it. So we'll see which direction this chart's going to tell us that it wants to go. But as of right now, things are looking more bearish, but they are still neutral. Just in general, we haven't really picked a direction. They just look like they might go bearish, is basically what that means. Heading on to the 15. So for the 15, we got recent rejection at 103K. Now trading below the 21 and 200 SMAs, around 102.4K. Two recent closes failed to hold above the micro resistance at 15-minute bias. Oh, the 15-minute bias is bearish. Confirmation valid for short biases. So we are below the two moving averages, again bearish, like I said earlier. We did get a rejection. We came up, tried to break our trend line up here, rejected, broke through our 200 again with pretty decent momentum here. And then we came up, retested it, not once, but twice, almost 3 times here with this candle. And then now we're finally rejecting off that again. Rejected off the 21 as well that time. And now we look like we might getting a little bit of a run up here to retest, possible breakthrough. I don't know. We'll see. Something to watch for. Stoches still have a lot of room to go. On the 15-minute down, Stoches are pretty accurate, so Stoches are a little more in, I guess, something that we'll be watching. MACD wise, you got a downwards run here. You can see we are getting a little bit of a loss of momentum here on these last 2 candles. RSI is still looking for more of a down run, and so overall I would agree it is more of a bearish bias. We could be flipping it here soon though, with the little bit of price action coming up, especially with the room that the Stoches have here. We could get a break above. We'll see, maybe break back into our daily zones here on the morning levels. Typically you stay inside these morning levels, and when you break out, that's when we're looking to take a trade. If you don't know how to trade, how we trade, you normally we'll get a break here and 2 15-minute closes, and then we'll come back and look for that retest to take the trade up to the upside. So essentially right now we actually got our 2 candle closes. You would probably be looking for that trade here on that candle or so. you would have taken our trade. You could have honestly gotten in there if we're really worried about it. I don't know. It already kind of broke down though, like I said. So we kind of would have been looking at that trade essentially. That's what we're looking at. 1.5, not too bad. Um, yeah, we're still getting that breakdown. Looks like we're actually going to reject off that. That's pretty healthy candle. Whenever you see wicks like this, typically you end up continuing to whatever side the wicks are not on, because that only means like we tried to go up and then the sellers came in and pushed us back down, so there's more strength to the sellers. The weird thing though here is we do have it on the opposite side too. Um, Here it's not as bad, but this wick was kind of crazy after these, so a little bit of wick TA, I guess. So that's not something we normally like bank our decisions off of, is wick, just candles TA, but something interesting, I guess, to look at. Yeah, overall though, it's still looking pretty bearish, especially with that candle. 100% too if we get that close. Looks like we might just come down and just smack that target I was talking about. Too bad we missed that trade. Definitely could have gotten in just on that one candle and almost complete our whole trade. Crazy. Moving on, we'll head to our 5-minute here. So 5-minute, we are below as well. I'm going to read the battle box here. Price action broke below the 200 van year at 102.4k. Currently restarting or retesting underside. Searches is reset the from oversold and crawling down again. Momentum is aligning with bears. Entry is ready short. So basically, yeah, we're in bearish bias here as well. One thing is, well, actually, that was pretty accurate. Normally, whenever you do the 5-minute, it's a little off because, we sent that 15-20 minutes ago. That's like 3 candles, 4 candles. I mean, it wasn't that long ago, but typically you see a couple more candles than that. So a couple more candles have already gone by the time that you were looking at that. We'd probably jump out right here, honestly, because that is a crazy candle. You're looking at, I don't know, say we just jumped out right there. Boom. 1.24, not too bad. Now, for our fake trade where we jumped in way too a while ago, we didn't really get that technically, but it probably will come down to this 24-hour POC, possibly even get farther. This candle, typically when you see a giant candle like this or a bigger candle like this, you'll see a little bit of the opposite price action, or at least sideways. Like you can see here, we got this nice big candle, and then we kind of traded sideways for a little bit, rested, and we didn't end up continuing here, but we got that sideways price action first. So overall, that's just something to kind of watch for. But yeah, you kind of want to jump out typically when you see a big candle, just because that's just what tends to happen, I guess. Yeah, so overall, 5 minutes also looking pretty bearish. You got that flip to the downside here on momentum again, looking to break down on the MACD. Well, possibly, I guess, if we get a close down here. But again, that was a pretty nice candle. Now we're leaving a pretty nice wick right now. So, like I said, nice wick like that. That means that the bulls have a lot more strength if we close with that wick, which means we'll most likely flip back to the upside, or kind of a reversal candle there. But MACD is starting to show some momentum to the downside, so if we do get that close, we'll see that. It could also flip to the upside though if we get the candle close bullish. RSI is actually down near oversold, so really not a lot of room to go down. Could it? Yeah, it could still go down a little bit more. We could get more into this oversold range, but it looks like we're gonna flip to the upside. Stoches are telling us we're going to get a little bit more down run here, though. So we could see a little bit of a down run here. Continuation down. That was 15 minutes. 15 minutes are down, though. So they're going to be fighting. You could see the fives kind of break down, or we could just see some sideways price action here as the fives kind of curl down, line up with the 15, and then we'll see that momentum back up through this breakout range. I wish we got this a little earlier. That would have been a decent trade. But that's basically our system playing out. Two candle closes on the 15. You get in on the retest here on the 5 minute, and then you get that breakdown. And we jumped out a little early just because of TA, but technically you would have been looking for this 24-hour POC as your first target, which it, like I said, ranges, so we're pretty close to that range. That's kind of what you got to watch out for, is that kind of loss of momentum, the price action kind of showing that it's not really going to make it past this. That's what we're watching for as we get close to those. But yeah, overall, we broke down, hit target, so nice job. If y'all actually took that trade, nice job. That was pretty cool. Pretty good trade. Nice setup for the morning. Yeah, overall, we probably won't make our battle plan today. We kind of went over it. Essentially, though, battle plan is just it kind of helps you figure out what trades are possible today, what trades you need to be looking at, what executions, what things to watch for, that kind of thing. We kind of just went over that, though. So if you're interested in getting a battle plan, go ahead and make your own. It's on there, completely free to use. We got a link in the description for our battle box. Yeah, 100% free. This easy to use. Check that out if you are interested in using it. Other than that, yeah, that's really it. Hopefully y'all have a good one today. Happy trading to y'all, and we will post the levels on X. So if you're interested in getting the levels from our stream, check out X. Yeah, thank y'all. Happy trading. We'll see you all next time.